Hello English 111 students. It's time to do a couple of videos to kind of get you up to speed on what the expectations are for the rest of the semester. I've been working trying to get the calendar redrawn and get assignments changed and shifted around a little bit because of the situation we find ourselves in that obviously is no one's fault but affects everyone. So you will need to keep, as you most of you have been, checking in on LMS, making sure that you look for updated assignments or for video links that you need to be watching. I will try to post a couple of videos for each of my classes so that you can hear some instruction about some of the topics which are a little bit challenging to do through an email. I will send emails out periodically to everyone just to remind you that there's an assignment that's been posted, so check the assignment. If there's a glitch, and there has been already with a couple of things that I've done on videos with a different class, just send me a quick email to let me know. Some of you did that, and I responded. At least some in my 112 classes did that, and I responded quickly and we got it straightened out. So just be patient. If there's a glitch or you can't seem to find the video or something, just let me know, and we'll make sure that that gets worked out. If you have a problem getting to LMS, or you have a problem with the Blackboard Moodle component, seeing your grades, uploading things even though they're there, access, all of that, you need to contact the distance learning people through the college. You can call the switchboard and get a hold of them. But if it's a question about the content of the course, that's obviously where you would want to respond or talk to me. Today, I want to talk for a few minutes about the argumentative essay, the email that I sent out giving you kind of a bullet point list of what an argumentative essay is. We're going to do that on this video. Then I'm going to post a short video subsequent to this one about an introduction to research. I strongly recommend that as we do that you have your little Siegel handbook with you. You're going to need it in order to be able to follow along with some of the instruction that I give to you. Obviously, I'm not in a classroom, so it's going to be verbal, but we'll have the books in front of us and be able to walk through those different components so that you can see how the book is laid out and the particular parts that we're going to pay attention to. I'm really limiting the scope on what we're going to focus on the Little Siegel Handbook. There will be an assignment associated with that next video. There is not an assignment with this one. You're going to find this in an assignment box, but that's been the easiest way that I can actually post the video. So just watching the video is not a graded component, but the assignments that I do post that have a graded component, I'll make sure you know about that so there's no question. Again, if you're any doubt about something, just shoot me a quick email and I'll let you know. Please, please, please put what section you are in so I know which student I'm talking to. So if your name is Caitlin and you just say English 111, I have 4 classes and then I have to try to figure out which class you're in. So please put the section number 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever it is, next to the class so I know which one I'm talking to. Today I want to talk about the argumentative essay, or this morning. The argumentative essay is a little bit new, probably to most of you. This is not where you are reporting information. This is probably the biggest distinction between reporting and argumentative writing. A report simply conveys information that you found about a topic. So if you're writing about ultrasounds, and so you discover when ultrasounds were invented, who does ultrasounds, what are the purposes of an ultrasound, how they can be effective in medical research, etc. That's a report. You're conveying information about the topic that is factual based on research. An argumentative essay is not a report. An argumentative essay argues a point relative to the information that you are making. So if you are going to argue, for example, that an ultrasound can be an effective tool in XYZ area and it hasn't been used there before, that would be an argument. You are saying that it's being used in these ways, here's how it can be applied in a different way, and it can be very effective. Maybe you're writing about, for example, immunizations, and you want to argue that certain immunizations are critical for all children to have between the age of 0 and 2. These are the 3 critical ones that everyone has to have. That's an argument. You're taking a position on it. There's going to be disagreement. There are going to be people who have different views on the topic. The thing about an argument, though, is it doesn't have to be a black or white issue. It doesn't have to be a yes or no, yay or nay, good or bad kind of issue. It can simply be that you're arguing that this is the way we have done a certain thing, and there's a better way to do it. Or this is the way it's been done before, but there's a more economical way to do it now. Or this is the best of the three possibilities that people use to approach this particular topic. Doesn't matter if it's in medicine, education, psychology, sports medicine. It doesn't matter what field. Every field that you study has an area or areas where there is debate or controversy or questions about how things are done or how things are organized. So your argumentative essay then is going to have four essential components. The first component, as you probably saw in the email, is called a value claim. Value just means it has something weighted to it that you have placed a significance to that other people might or might not as well. So if I make a statement of value, that means I'm arguing a point about something in order to emphasize why it's important. So if I make a value claim, I'm making a statement where immediately people can say, yes, I agree with that, or no, I disagree, or I agree and yet disagree in certain areas. So that's a value claim. For example, all Mitchell Community College students should be required to take English 111 and English 112 back to back their first year. That's a value claim. There are obviously people who would say, yes, that's a good idea. People would say, no, it's not necessary. And people in the middle that would say, that's good for most, but it might not work for everyone, and so there have to be these exceptions. That's what a value claim is. Right after the value claim, then you would list the reasons. And in this case, for this paper, you have three reasons that you have to supply. So your value claim and your reasons would go something like this. All Mitchell Community College students should be required to take English 111 and English 112 back to back their first year. Value claim. Reasons? Because it would provide an opportunity for students to learn in a short segment of time. It would be better for student retention of information, and it would do something else. So those are my 3 points, my 3 reasons why I would argue the case. That in total is your thesis statement. The thesis statement for an argumentative essay is the value claim and the 3 reasons that you're using to support it. Think of the 3 reasons as being introduced by the word because, and you can use that in your thesis if you want to. It's perfectly fine. Children under the age of 2 should be immunized for XYZ virus because, and then give me the 3 reasons why that would be the case. That's the first half of the argumentative essay in terms of the 4 components, value claim and reasons. Number 3 on the list is evidence, and this is where the whole research idea comes into play. You can't simply make an argument and say this is what I think or this is what I feel, because you can't use first person anyway. You have to use third person, so it has to be supported. It has to be substantiated. It has to be given some weight based upon scholarly research or evidence. And so you are going to be using NC Live, for example, through our library, doing search through scholarly websites or professional websites in order to find information that supports the view that you are making. The minimum for this paper is 3 critical sources. You have to have a minimum of 3 critical scholarly professional sources that support the reasons that you are making for your particular claim. And we're going to talk about that in a subsequent video and in subsequent emails, most likely as well. The 4th component is the opposition. No good argument can withstand, let me say it a different way. It isn't a good argument if it can't withstand scrutiny. So a good arguer, or a person who purports an argument, is going to address what the oppositional viewpoint is going to be at some place in that address, lecture, paper, or whatever. The requirement for this paper is that at least one time, only one time required, but at least one time somewhere in your paper, you have to address what the oppositional viewpoint might be on this particular topic. You might even do it in the introduction. That's fine. You may save it for the conclusion and make that connection there. That's fine. I do not want a comparison contrast paper. Be careful of that. You're not going back A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B all the way through the paper. You are simply developing your argument, and where it is appropriate, saying while the opposition believes this, or some people would argue such and such, this is the best approach, or this is the best solution to the problem. The focus is on your argument, not on the oppositional viewpoint. So, very quickly, the 4 points again. Value claim, the statement that carries some weight, that is arguable. The 3 reasons that are supplied after the value claim, which answer the because question. That's your thesis. The 3rd component is the evidence that needs to be provided in your paper, which will be the citation documentation segment we're going to talk about later. That's your scholarly research. And then the 4th component is at some point in your paper, a minimum of 1 time, you must address the oppositional viewpoint. That makes up the argumentative research paper. This particular paper, you do have to have 3 points in your paper. It does have to be in 3rd person. It is a 6 to 7 page paper, minimum 6 pages, maximum 7 pages. It will include a works cited page, which we're going to talk about in subsequent classes and emails. The works cited page is not part of the 6 to 7 pages in terms of how long your paper has to be, but it will be numbered after those 6 or 7 pages. So let's say, for example, you write a 6-page paper. Page 7 will be your works cited page. You have to have 3 critical sources, as I said, and you have to address the opposition. Those are the requirements. Remember, it has to be in 3rd person. This is an easy mistake for students to make in argumentative research. They start talking about what they think, what they feel, what I believe, what I want, what I know, and you have to leave 1st person out of it. Address it only as 3rd person. I will be posting another video soon about the MLA handbook and how to use that component or that part of the Little Seagull handbook. That's the green section. If you want to be ready for that, it's the lime green section that starts on, I think, page 119 or 120 in your handbook. When we have our next video, we're going to start with that. I'm going to walk through how that chapter is laid out, the parts that you need to pay close attention to, and then where we go for the next step. Remember, that will also have an assignment associated with it that you'll have to do and complete for a grade. Talk to you soon.